Sometimes I look at our granddaughter, who's not even a year old, and I imagine what she's going to look like and what she's going to be thinking when she's an 80-year-old woman herself, and we're long gone. And she's talking and playing with her own grandkids. I think about the fleetingness of life. It's been a thing that I've thought about for decades. In fact, I remember vividly going down a street after church on Sunday in Dallas when I was at Dallas Theological Seminary. I was 25, and I was going to a lunch, and I took a left on a street, and I remember off to the right, a softball game going on, and I thought to myself, I pulled aside, and I imagined myself as a 75-year-old man. Now here I am, 67, but I imagined myself as a 75-year-old man, imagine and thinking about how I used to be able to run fast and throw hard and hit the ball far and all that sort of thing. But now here I am in the stands just watching the game unfold. It was a rather poignant moment. And right about that time, there were two passages in Ecclesiastes, which is one of my favorite books of the Bible, that I memorized and I've thought about for literally now 4 decades plus. One is Ecclesiastes 7:10. Do not say, why is it that the former days were better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask about this. Then there's Ecclesiastes 5:20, which says, for he will not often consider the years of his life, because God keeps him occupied with the gladness of his heart. And in Ecclesiastes, earlier on, the first mention of God is really the first mention of joy. And aging with joy is certainly inextricably tied to knowing God. And so those passages, Ecclesiastes 5:20 and 7:10, have put me in good stead. And I've certainly experienced the speed of life and the fleetingness of life. And again, imagining my granddaughter and thinking about her as an old woman and wanting her also to digest deeply that whole idea. Do not say, why is it that the former days are better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask about this.